in alongside Kawhi Leonard, who still has another 2 years on his current deal with the Clippers. So, Shannon, how surprised were you by this extension?
Well, Skip, it makes sense for Paul George because you get long-term financial security. And I guess for the Clippers, considering what they gave up, they basically mortgaged their future. Kawhi was a free agent. You didn't have to give up anything. Kawhi came there voluntarily. But in order to get Kawhi a sidekick, you had to trade Gallinari and Gilgeous-Alexander and 4 or 5 #1 draft picks. So basically, your future until 2026, you got no future when it comes to the draft.
Yep.
So I guess this is what you had to do, Skip. And if worse come to worse, you can trade him and try to recruit some of that back. It's very difficult to trade someone if he's about to be a free agent and he doesn't make a long-term, he's not willing to make a long-term commitment to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it on both of their parts, you know, Paul George and Kawhi. But Skip, I'm confused. This max money should go to the top list, and I get there are guys getting max money, and I get it. But Skip, when I look at Paul George in his last 5 elimination games, he's averaging 20 points, 37% field goal shooting. He has a 1-4 record. And Game 7 against Denver, he had 10 points, 4-16. Now, I know what Paul George did his first couple of years in the league, going head-to-head with LeBron in Miami with D-Wade and Bosh. I remember that. But I also remember what happened those last 2 years in Indiana. I also remember what happened when he was in OKC, when Russ dropped 45 and he hit 5. I remember that.
Russ 45 versus Donovan's 44, whatever he was. Right?
And Paul George laid an egg.
Yep.
So
he did.
And I thought, Skip, when you gave somebody that kind of money, you're banking on what they're going to be moving forward.
Yep.
What has convinced you that Paul George in the playoffs, because that's where you get that, if you're giving that guy that money, what are you going to be in the playoffs? I just, like I said, it makes sense for Paul George. Hell, anybody, you'd be foolish not to take that kind of money. That long, that's guaranteed.
I mean, the last year is almost $50 million.
And then no accountability. It's everybody else's fault. The way Doc was using me. Doc had me using me like I was J.J. Redick, pin downs, all this. Bruh, Doc
By
ain't...
the way, did you see Doc's response on ESPN today?
Yeah, I love it. I love Doc.
Yeah, and Doc was saying, wait, I was using him like I used Ray Allen. He said, you know, Ray Allen was really good. Maybe Paul should say, thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
So who made him hit the side of that backboard? Who made him shoot 4-16? So that was Doc's fault. Remember, he missed that layup. He had a point-blank layup, and then he just dropped. He just, like, it's one of those things. I get it for Paul George. Skip, that's $226 million over the next 5 years. I get that. But for the Clippers, whoo.
Okay. So, as usual, I see this completely upside down from the way you do. I was hoping that Paul George would bet on himself the way Kawhi is about to bet on himself again and have what you call a contract year, where you could play it out and become free again after this coming basketball season, right?
Right.
Kawhi is about to do that. Now, you can argue it's smart on his part. He's a little more advanced in age than Paul is.
Right.
And so he's got those bird rights where you could max out by becoming a free agent and then re-signing with the Clippers, you could make more money.
Right.
Paul had a chance right here, right now, to go big on the 4-year extension, the last year's at his option for $50 million.
Right.
So he said, I wanted security.
Right.
That speaks to who he is and who he's not, because he's like, man, I don't know. I wasn't very good in the
Exactly.
He's thinking, they're going to offer me this?
Right.
I'll take it.
After the playoff, the pandemic, P, they saw they gonna give me 190.
Or as you called him, playoff PEE.
Yeah,
right?
that's what he was.
He was. I do not disagree. Now, here's another point of contention I have with what you're saying. Why would the Clippers do this? You know why? Because
you got no choice.
Okay, no, but he is a complimentary star at best. But I underscore that word star. He's still a star. He does not have alpha in him. He does not have much of that dog in him. But ESPN ranked him in the ranking that just came out, the top 100 yesterday. He was 20th, and that's where he belongs. He is a top 20 talent. That's why you've got a guy who's made all-star. He's made, what, 6 all-star teams, and he's been all defense 4 times. That talent does not grow on Southern California palm trees out here. It does not.
It does not.
So you just have to step back from it and say, let's not be prisoner of the playoff moment. And the odds are he'll do it again. He'll do it again because that's his history.
Yes.
But can he get you to that point? Yes, he can. I remind you, coming off 2 shoulder surgeries, he had a pretty good regular season. He shot 41% from 3 at 6 feet 8 inches tall.
Oh, yeah.
And he defends at a high level. So you can't find that kind of talent. So if you can pair the 20th ranked player with the guy who I would rank 2nd in the NBA, 2 plus 20 equals potential championship. So you can't just let him go. You can't say, let's cut bait with, I call him George Paul.
But here's the thing.
He is still Paul George in talent.
But you've given up so much to get him, Skip, and you keep telling me all these guys, oh, he plays D at elite level. What did Jamal Murray do to him? What did Jason Tatum do to him?
Okay.
What did Marcus Smart do to him?
Where was that? Where did it happen? It happened in the bubble. What was he going through? And I do not discount this. He said, I'm suffering anxiety/depression. I need counseling. Okay. He was public with it. And it's like, okay. And they were coming apart at the seams internally because you had the veterans, Montrez and Lou, saying, wait a second, you guys get to do this and that, and we don't get to do that. You get to take games off. You get to dictate circumstances, whether we practice or not, and we don't have any say. That they had such internal dissension with a coach who, I love Doc, but he was just saying, I give up. You guys go figure it out. You know, I'm sick. You've tuned me out. I'm sick and tired of all of you. So I'm just going to sit back and fold my arms on the bench and see if you can figure out how to close out one of 3 games in which you had leads of 15, 19, and 12.
But if PG, 190 million, if he's that guy, shouldn't he be able to do that? Even if Kawhi's, because this is why you have 2 guys like that. If LeBron's off, AD got to be able to bring it home. Because remember when AD was struggling, what did Go James do? Brought it home. So that's the reason why you have 2 of those guys.
You know who brought it home for you guys? Your 3rd best player.
Oh, my goodness.
Playoff Rondo. Every time you were in any kind of hot water at all, he just comes in, he settles it down, he sets it up, and he gets people where they should be so you can close deals.
So we're going to discount LeBron's triple-double in Game 6?
No, I'm just saying, are we going to discount the numbers Kawhi was putting up in the playoffs before Game 7?
No.
Because they were huge.
But, Skip, he was gagging.
In Game 7, he did.
No, but, Skip, can you imagine? Let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, that's LeBron James, and he has a 3-1 lead, and he had leads of 15, 19, and 12. I wouldn't even be able to come out here and do the show with you because you would show that we be talking about something else, and you show that clip. I want to show you because that's what you do with the bloopers. You show the bloopers.
Are you asking for
No, I ain't asking for it, but
we can show them right now.
But I'm just saying, Skip, let that sink in for a second. 2 guys, you say the 2 guys start, guys like Paul George don't grow on California palm trees, and he had a 3-1 lead.